The rains are coming down and also the wind, and we're going to have flooding problems as well as the eye continues to move toward the northwest. The eye is collapsing just a bit. The winds will be diminishing as the hurricane gets ripped apart by the frictional effects over land. That's a tropical storm here south of Baja. We'll have to talk more about that as soon as Hugo gets out of our hair. Other disturbance in the eastern Caribbean. Otherwise, here's the hurricane. It's come on shore. Let's zero in a little bit better on this situation. And this is an infrared photograph, and the higher cloud top showing up in orange and yellow, and big thunderstorms with heavy, heavy rains, already 3 inches plus in the Charleston area. And we expect some rainfall totals before it's all said and done in the Carolinas to reach maybe 10 to 15 inches. Rain showers and thunderstorms reach from around Athens, Georgia, just about to Atlanta now, moving southwest, and the rains down to Savannah. Right down the Savannah Valley there, getting some heavy rains and thunderstorms offshore and moving toward the northwest, and onshore some very violent weather moving through Charleston and just to the north and east of the city. Haven't even mentioned yet the tides, and those tides coming in around 10 to 15 feet from the Charleston area and northeastward up along the coast. Let's go ahead and go back in time. Watch this dramatic footage of this hurricane coming in from the southeast, moving up toward the northwest. Do we have that picture? I hope we do. I've already said I'd like to see it. There it is. Here it is, continuing to move northwest. Now, by the time it hit the coast, it was moving at about 25 miles an hour. So if you take the forward speed, the forward momentum of 25 miles an hour, add it to the winds around the eye wall, were about 135 miles an hour. This could have hit with about 160 mile-per-hour winds when it came ashore in Charleston. I'm sure by tomorrow in the daylight we will see massive areas of damage from the wind. Not to mention the fact of the flooding, including the Charleston downtown area, probably a significant portion anyway, underwater as the rains continue extremely heavy. And before it's all said and done, as I mentioned, maybe upwards of a foot of rain. Then what happens is this storm will come on shore. It's coming on shore now. Then it begins to shift a little bit farther north. Eventually, we'll shoot northeastward and probably out of the picture by late Sunday. But as it moves northeastward, it will be raining very heavily in the southeast, east of the Appalachians, into the mid-Atlantic and northeastern United States, in areas saturated from recent rains and recent flooding there. So not only do we have the rains and thunderstorms and potential tornadoes, too. There's some heavy thunderstorms which might produce some tornadoes, probably will produce tornadoes, especially in South Carolina up to North Carolina, where tornado watch is in effect until 7 o'clock in the morning. Well, let's go take a look at the particulars now. The statistics on this particular storm, where are they? There they are. It's over Charleston. The eye is over Charleston right now, so you might see a decrease in the wind speeds right in that eye, but it does not mean the storm is over, because on the other side of that eye is the other part of the hurricane with 100-mile-per-hour winds or so. The eye wall itself is collapsing. In other words, some showers are beginning to impinge, shall we say, into the eye, which means it will be decreasing in wind speed, but of course the rains and the tides will be the major problem. The storm is still moving northwestward at about 22 to 25 miles an hour. Hurricane force winds of 115 miles per hour or more in the wide areas surrounding the eye, which is the calm spot. And we've got tropical storm force winds about 250 miles northeast of the center and about 175 or 200 miles north of the center of circulation, which continues north. Eventually will be twisting more northeastward as tonight rolls on and into tomorrow. Some of the wind gusts, not too impressive on the computer. These are just cities that were in the computer program there, but in between, as I mentioned, 115 miles per hour, probably not uncommon at all. There's Charleston, a little bit of rain beginning to come into the center of the eye. Hard to depict as was before. We can see a real big area of dry weather right in the eye, but some of these showers and storms beginning to move toward the center. Now look at this big band of heavy thunderstorms, and it is these north and east of the center of circulation here which might produce some tornadoes. These are heavy rains too in the dark shades of green, some showers and storms also moving their way into North Carolina now. And check out this stuff. This is Augusta, Georgia, a dry slot there now. Savannah's getting heavy rain. The showers stretch northwestward into and just east of the Atlanta area. Actually, it's raining in Atlanta now, too. Up close now, there's Charleston. Here's heavy thunderstorms north. These are circulating counterclockwise into the center of circulation right about over the Charleston area. We've had big rain so far, more than 2 inches in the dark shades of green, and we've got more to come, as I mentioned. 4 to 8 inches anyway in the dark green, and locally 10 to 15 inches. The hurricane warnings continue in effect from around the Georgia and Florida border up toward the Oregon Inlet. That's where the hurricane warnings continue in effect for this evening. The tides, of course, a major problem, especially the South Carolina area, is putting Charleston underwater, at least downtown in many locations. And here's that tornado watch in effect until 8 o'clock in the morning. I think I said 7 before. Until 8 o'clock in the morning for South Carolina, much of North Carolina. Stay tuned for this, plus your weekend outlook.